Massive divergence in the charts hints at what is coming next. Hey guys, it's Keith Allen. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Hope you made some money. At least you didn't lose any money. And I hope you're watching what's going on in the charts. Interesting day. Of course, recently announced that U.S. and China have reached some sort of tentative trade deal. And you would think that markets would be rallying on that. But at the moment, it seems a lot like a sell the news event. We'll see. Okay, we're going to look at some things in the charts and see if we can really get a determination on what's happening versus what the speculative nature of what's going on here in the charts right now. If you haven't done so yet, well, first of all, let me welcome you. If you're new to the stream, really glad to have you. If you are an OG member, really pleased to have you back, and I appreciate the continuing support. If you would all do me the grand favor of smashing the like button, and also be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the future streams. Want to remind you, live chat is open. If you've got questions, I'm going to do my best to answer them. If you have insights, please share them. Always enjoy engaging with you guys, and I promise to do so. In fact, if you're watching a delayed version of this on YouTube or X, or you can't engage with the live stream, I'll always go back and engage with those comments later. So by all means, drop a comment and join me in the chat, and we will see what we can make together here. Want to start with a quick glimpse of Bitcoin, and then going to climb into alts, because we're seeing a massive divergence between Bitcoin dominance and Total 3, which Total 3, who anybody who doesn't know, Total 3 would be the total market cap of all pretty much all coins, excluding Bitcoin and ETH. So that's an indication, along with when we have that big divergence, along with the declining USDT dominance, that historically has pointed towards alt seasons. Now, a lot has changed dynamically in the market over the past couple of years, namely the big influence of institutional demand coming into Bitcoin. And so we haven't seen Bitcoin really suffer as much as maybe we might expect to when we see Bitcoin dominance falling the way that it is. Of course, we're seeing a bit of a pullback right now, but the weekend had us pushing, and even in the overnight hours had us pushing towards new local highs here, right? So would we top out earlier today at about 105, almost 106K, and now pulling back from that, but that's okay. I wouldn't panic here. Things are still looking pretty good. So let's start by sharing a screen, and we will proceed, as they say, with a look at what's happening on the Bitcoin chart, and then we'll head into alts here. Okay, so as you can see, this is a long-term chart I've been sharing with you guys, but I have put this new timescape levels indicator overlay, which shows us essentially I have it set to show us annual and quarterly opens and first week of opens. So we obviously came through this 2025 open. This was strong technical resistance for us for a long time. We broke above. We also broke above the first week of the year open, and now Bitcoin kind of hovering here in this zone around 103K at the moment. There is a lot of potential upside here. Worth noting that we do have some new signals on trend precognition. We have a daily short signal. Let's see if the weekly gave us anything. But I'll be honest with you, we do have a weekly on the A1 algo down here. Last week we had one and it invalidated. And I would say that this one, even this daily, has already invalidated for me, because price wicked above yesterday's high. Now we've since pulled back from there, but I don't have a lot of faith in the signal, and I have to wonder if there are some, how should I say, less than organic choreographed forces coming into play here, as Bitcoin, price speculated over the weekend, based on the fact that we had this meeting, that the U.S. had this meeting with China. I don't think anybody was expecting any grand moves. And then, yesterday we got word that there was a deal, And this morning, it has been stated that that deal reduced the tariffs on China from 145% to like 30%, and China reduced their tariffs from 125% down to 10%. And this is a still amidst negotiations. We're at 90 days. I think that we're going to sit at these levels until the next levels are announced. Now, obviously, things could go bad. Things could go good in that time, and all expectations are that things are going to move in the right direction here, and tariffs could be potentially even lower than that. But excuse me, had to get a little Java. You just have to wonder, right, how this all takes shape. It's clear that the Trump administration's strategy was to use these big, massive, ridiculous numbers as a negotiating tactic, right? They spike up at 145%, the market tanks, and now they're in it at 30%, and like, are we all supposed to go, oh, that's much better than 145? Well, 30% is still very high, right? So we'll have to see how this all develops. As you can see, Bitcoin pulling back. Let's have a quick look at what TradFi is doing amidst this information, right? TradFi likes the news at the moment, with early indications of upside here. Make sure I'm looking at daily charts. We are. So big day for TradFi. So maybe some of this pullback that we're seeing on Bitcoin right now is relative to some money rolling back into TradFi, perhaps. That's just, kind of speculative. But notice the divergence. We have up signals on TradFi indexes and a down signal up here on Bitcoin. Interesting, to say the least. So let's point towards that big divergence I was talking about. And again, a reminder: live chat is open if you guys want to chime in. I'm going to look at a couple of alts, and if you have some that you want me to take a peek at, we will. But notice here what we have. We have this light orange line is Bitcoin dominance, and you can see since basically Tuesday or Wednesday, since Tuesday, we peaked, and we saw Bitcoin dominance dropping, and we saw total 3 climbing, and we saw an extension of this dump from USDT dominance since Sunday, right? A week ago Sunday. And this historically is really the perfect setup for an alt season. Now, a lot has changed. As I mentioned, the market dynamics have changed. So I don't know if we're actually, this is something I'm questioning, and I am not an alt expert. Certainly not an alt season expert. So if you guys have some insight to this, by all means, please share it. But I would say that, one of the questions is, are we going to see an alt season like we have historically seen, like the traditional, extended, running for a couple of months? Or are we going to see short-lived bursts of alt rallies that pay? And we've actually obviously seen some big moves here in the past week, a lot, or the past couple of weeks. Actually, a lot of alts have come off of lows, tested support, come off of lows, macro lows, and have been rallying. And we're seeing some big moves. The question is, are they going to continue? And here's why I start to question that, because a lot of these coins. Well, let's start with the mother of all alts, ETH. As you can see, running into resistance at one of these timescape levels here. Let's see where this one actually points to. This is not that it matters, but it's a prior level of resistance, which is this was actually the Q4 2024 open. All right. So that's where we're sitting at resistance right now. And obviously there's a lot of confluence at that range here, right? So it's not just that it was a timescape, but there's a lot of history of confluence with resistance at this level, right? Then it was flipped, price moved up, we peaked, double topped, and then price obviously coming back down. So at this stage, ETH has come off of support here at a bottom right near the 2018 top. This was back in April 9th when tariffs were announced that week, right? April 2nd, I think, is when the first tariff announcement came in. And so now it's been grinding up, big candle this past Thursday, a 22% candle. Those scare me. I'm not going to lie. When I see moves like this, when I see these big celery sticks, I'm always looking for a correction. Maybe we'll get it. Maybe we won't. At the moment, you can see 1, 2, 3 hits at resistance here, and now price pulling back. How far will it pull? Will it pull all the way down to this 100-day moving average potentially? You know, meanwhile, we also have, and I'm going to clear out this timescape so you can see it a little bit clearer. We also have uh, a beautiful golden cross between the 21, the green 21, and the red 50. And now we're headed for a golden cross between the green 21 and the blue 100. And so the issue is we have not only at that timescape level, but right here, we have the purple 200-day moving average. So in addition to having the resistance here on that we saw on the timescape, we also have this 200-day moving average in here that is strong technical resistance in this level. After if price can flip this and take out this 200-day moving average, then we've got some nice upside. No technical resistances until 3,000. That one also, ETH especially likes to work in these like $500 increments, right? So 3,000, then we get up to the 3,500 range. A lot of resistance here in this 3,600 range, actually. And then, are we going back to new highs? That all remains to be seen. It has to start with flipping this prior resistance level, and flipping this 200-day moving average. Those are key for ETH and a lot of alts running into the same scenario, right? If we take this out to the weekly chart, we do see we have support here at the 21-week moving average, which is good. That needs to hold to keep this hope of this rally alive and healthy. We have resistance at the 100-week moving average, another dose of resistance here at the 50-week moving average if we can get there. To me, I don't know, this purple 200 really, I think if we could clear this, that would open the door for a lot. Now I want to look at some other coins and see what's happening here. Now, Litecoin, as you can see, coming off of some rough signals here, back-to-back down signals from trend precognition, resistance at prior historical levels, and the positive side of this is Litecoin has already flipped the 200-day moving average. So can it hold? Looking for a retest of support down here at this 200-day moving average, which is right around $100. So watching this very, very closely today. I want to take it down a little bit and let's see what some of the other coins are doing. Now, this one, XRP, not one that I trade very much, but this is one that has obviously had some significant moves here this past year. You can see the breakout coming off of, a huge dump down to, what's this, about $1.50, $1.63. And this was where I was looking for a setup that I didn't quite get. I might get picked up here today. We'll see. But I'm looking for, listen, I don't want to buy tops. If we get a retest of support down here to the 0.5 fib or the trend line, I would actually take this. I actually have an order right now for potentially taking this 0.5 fib, and my stop is actually here at the trend line. So if I lose the trend line, it's not a big deal. It's, pretty good risk to reward setup. I think at the very least we would get a bounce back to the 0.618. But I think this could go potentially much higher. So risk reward on that looks pretty good. Doge is another one, love it or hate it. I was underwater on Doge for a long time. I have since recovered. I'm in a pretty good spot, but I see things in a similar fashion to ETH, where we're at this key resistance at the 200-day moving average. but look at this breakout. I mean, look at this move here. So we've cleared a lot of resistance, and we also have this same unwinding, like I showed you on ETH, where the 21-day moving average is pulled up through the 50. It's now about to golden cross the 100, and then we can work our way up. If we can flip this, if Doge can flip this 200-day moving average, that's a tremendous move. Okay, because not a lot standing in the way. Let's look and see if we have any timescapes that are, we're up at this timescape level right now. This one was, let's see if it's anywhere close to what the ETH one was. This goes all the way back to July. So this is what, Q3 2021. It doesn't matter when it was, just matters that it exists. So that's something that we have to keep an eye on and see if price can flip this historical resistance, flip this 200-day moving average, and then soar upward. I would not be buying at these tops. I would be looking, if you're not in yet, you got to be looking for support. You don't want to be buying tops here, okay? Because this is very strong, and we may never break it. At the very least, it could take some time. So be mindful of that. Let's look at another one. What has Solana done? Solana USDT. Same thing. Look at this. We have obviously we've actually flipped this timescape level here. So I'm going to take that out of the chart, clean it up a little bit. But look what we're up against. We have this trend line of support of prior, the prior macro trend that we fell out of, that we need to climb back in. There's a prior consolidation range here that has confluence with that, as well as the 200-day moving average. The 200-day, this purple one, you can see it right here, right? So this is what we're up against. Do not buy the top. Wait for the support test. Maybe it comes back down to this 0.382 fib level around 172. But if this falls, then we're conceivably going all the way back to the 21-day moving average, which would be just a fantastic entry at this point, I believe. And then we have to take another run at this. But you see strong technical resistance between the 200-day moving average, the trend line, this prior consolidation range. There's a lot going on. So do not ape in at this level. Wait for that support test if you're interested in picking up more Solana. Hope that gives you some insight as to what I'm looking at in the charts here. I will continue to watch and see what these divergences are doing. I think it's important to stay in tune to this stuff and see if this actually does develop into a full-fledged alt season, or if things are getting toppy right now. This side, to me, looking at it from the perspective of the dominance of Bitcoin dominance and Total 3 and USDT dominance, this looks good in terms of what we want to see in alts. The price action at the moment is, again, at critical levels, right? We got to flip these things before we have that big move up. And it looks like today we're at least getting a pullback that might lead to that support test that could give you a much better entry and opportunity if we do indeed get this upside move. Going to wrap it right there, guys. Got a busy week ahead. Hope you navigate it well. The name of the game here, not just to make money, but to make sure you don't lose any. All right, guys, if you want more info on any of the tools that I'm using here, you can, of course, check them out. I've got links in the descriptions, both here and on YouTube, on X, and what else? I don't know. If you haven't smashed that subscribe button, make sure you do. I'm going to leave you with a parting shot of the Bitcoin order book that shows us one new major development here. We had a block of bid liquidity float down to this 86K level, which is an area of prior support. Let me show it to you real quick. That would be right around this prior consolidation range. There's a lot of technical support between here and there, so I think it would be a long shot to get there. We'd have to fall through a lot of stuff, including all of the key moving averages, to get there. So I don't think that's, at the moment anyways, a big concern. I'm looking at a pending golden cross between the red 50, blue 100, and purple 200-day moving averages here, all developing here in the days ahead. And that should bring with it some continuation of the upward momentum that we've seen here. Time for patience, time for watching these things very, very closely. And you may want to adjust some of your entries and exits at this stage because it seems like market dynamic is changing. Got one comment here from Foff. Guess that 92K being tested is in the wind. You can't rule anything out, right? I would say that the 2025 Open would need to be tested more so than that. I guess that 92K has you around that 200-day moving average. You've got the 21 up above it. If that falls through, obviously that comes into focus. But there's a lot of positive in the charts at the moment. So let's just watch closely and be patient. Leave you with that shot, and we will be back at it as I see things develop. I'll do my best to keep you guys informed along the way. Keep watching the X channel. And if you haven't done so yet, join us in the Telegram community for material indicators. A lot of alpha flowing through that channel. Would love to have you join us. Have a good one, guys.